What's up, guys? It's Qasim back again with Digital Gladiator, and today we're going to be talking about cold email, specifically for client acquisition purposes. So I'm going to be going over templates. I'm going to be going over building a list. I'm going to be going over also the tools to use for this. So pretty much everything you need to know for cold email. And if you want to get a client, if you want to even, you can also use this in terms of getting links by doing blogger outreach. It really applies to all that. So if this is a video that you should watch. If you don't want to get clients, then I don't think it'll be valuable to you. Or if you don't want to do cold email to build links either, not valuable for you. So don't want to waste your time, but let's get into it. First off, you want to build a list. So obviously, I mean, you have to build a list to do it, but you want to build a targeted list. You don't want to have just a bunch of random emails. So the more targeted the list, the more you're going to get out of it in terms of numbers. So if you send 10,000 great emails, you're going to get better results than a million terrible emails. So the example here is if you scrape a list of 10,000 law firms that you want to target, but most of those emails are generic, like the info at domain names, which can work, but they're not as good as these other ones I'll talk to you about. And then the non-decision makers, which is going to be like, for example, in this scenario, like paralegals maybe, low level like associates at the law firms. They're not going to be able to make decisions, obviously. That's not going to be as effective. That 10,000 email list is not going to be as effective as 1,000 emails of like managing partners. So these are all the managing partners of each individual firm. Is going to be more effective that way. So it comes down to how you scrape and filter your leads when it comes to building a list, which I'll go over some tools at the end of near the end of the video, and I'll go over those tools that will help you with this. So moving on, building a template. Template obviously is important. Everyone talks about building the list and the copy, which is a template. So it all comes down to quality of the list and quality of the copy. For the template, you want to create a template that sticks out from the crowd. Business owners, whoever you may be targeting, even if you're not targeting a business owner, everyone gets hammered with spam, basically, which is like people saying, hey, I can get you links on the best websites for $10, like some, like, you know, going back to the Nigerian princes who are offering you money. You know, everyone gets spam, so you want to stick out from the crowd. So I like mine to be short and sweet, usually around maybe 4 or 5 sentences, maybe 6, but I usually don't go more than that. Around the 4 to 6 sentence mark. That business owners just don't have time to read an essay. You're not their cousin Sally, who they probably wouldn't even read the email anyway. You're not their mom. They don't know you. Okay, they're not gonna take 5 minutes to read a stranger's email when they don't know anything about you. Then read up on copywriting. Implement those tactics into your template, which will keep them. Copywriting, you know, it's pretty much a science. You can keep them, if you can keep them reading your copy, your template, and finishing your email, there's more chance that they're gonna, you know, do whatever you need to do, click on your link, reply, you know, whatever your end goal is there. And then provide value in your initial email. On the initial email, do not try to sell them anything, don't solicit any offers, just provide value. You can provide value by saying, hey, like, let's get on a call, and I get on a quick call and I'll go over these issues with your website that I found for free. You know, don't say like, hey, it's $10 or anything. Just say, hey, it's free. You can get on a quick call. When are you free this week? Blah blah blah. You know, say, hey, I made a video for you guys that goes over these issues. Would you like to see the video? If they say yes, make that video and then send it their way, and then follow up with them and whatnot. Personalize. So there's 2 ways to do this. You can either have a personalized outreach campaign, personalized emails, or mass outreach. And the difference is personalized is more variables, including like included in the email, such as like the prospect's name, city, niche specific language. Whereas mass emailing is just kind of scraping a ton of emails, leads, and just blasting them with little to no personalization. So they each have their pros and cons. For personalized, it's more expensive usually, or time consuming. So if you, for example, if you want to get their name, you want to get their city, you want to get their niche, then you're going to have to spend more time to build that list. Whereas mass emailing, you can just scrape a ton of leads and then just email them with a generic template that's going to get less responses, but at the same time, less responses, but with like 100 times more emails. Could be better, could be worse. You know, it really depends. They both have their times and their uses. For example, if you just want to get like a plumber client, right? You want to get a plumber client, why don't you just scrape a bunch of like 100,000 plumber emails and then hit them all with a generic template. Maybe you'll get 50 to 100 responses. You know, that's just kind of a number I threw out there. May not be the case. Maybe you'll get 50 to 100 responses, and then you close 3-4 of those leads. But then personalized campaign, say you build 10,000 personalized leads, and then you get 200 responses from those. Is that worth it? You know, it's really up to you. And then personalized, I would definitely go personalized if it's something where the amount of leads isn't too great, because if the amount of leads isn't too great, then you want to make sure you get the most out of those leads. Whereas if you're targeting like every single plumber in the US, I mean, is it really worth it to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to make those lists really personalized? Because you're gonna have to get their names and, you know, their niche specific language. I mean, niche specific language is basically like, if I'm a law firm and I say, or I'm targeting law firms, I say like, hey, in the template, I'm like, your law firm, I saw something on your law firm's website. That's an example right there. Or you could also say, would you like more clients for your practice? That's something that you wouldn't say for a plumber. Plumbers don't have clients. I mean, technically, but mostly the proper language for that is customers. They don't have a practice. It's a business. It's not like a practice, like a doctor's practice or a law practice, right? So, and then also for the personalized, you want to narrow down the list and stuff. So you get the idea. I don't want to ramble too much here. I'm getting long-winded. And then going into the tool/softwares here. So these are a few tools that I've used that I do like. So dataminer.io, that's a free Google scraper. If your budget is low, you can get a bunch of free. There is a paid option, but the free option is pretty much all you need. You don't need, I'm not sure if there's any difference between the free and the paid, except for the limitations to how much you can scrape. And you can still scrape thousands upon thousands of websites for free. So definitely recommend that if you're starting out. And then Pitchbox is an outreach software, definitely something that you want to use for a personalized email campaign to automate it, but it is not the cheapest thing it's not the cheapest software on the block, so I wouldn't recommend that if your budget's really tight, although they do have a free trial where you can get, I believe it's like 250 or something around that number. I think it's 250 emails for free. So at the same time, I mean, if you want to be sneaky and make like 5 or 10 like free accounts, I mean, that's up to you. Or just have one, and then with 250 personalized emails, you could land a client with that, and then from then on you can just purchase the paid. I believe the first one's like 99 bucks a month, and it goes all the way up to hundreds, and you can for like thousands of emails per month. So yeah, it's up to you. Scrapebox, it's amazing ninja software. You can scrape URLs, grab emails, do a ton more. I really can't do it justice to explain it in this small video. I don't want to take up a huge chunk of time either. So if you want to just, you know, Google it, go on their website. Maybe, you know, you can do your own research, guys. You're not toddlers. I don't have to baby you here. And then Hunter.io, that's something that I personally haven't used yet, but I've heard a lot of people recommend it. So I can safely say, you know, a lot of people I respect and know are great marketers, they use it, so I can recommend it. It's a scraper. I'm not sure exactly how it works, so go to the website and make sure I'm saying the right thing, but I do know that you can verify emails, which is really cool with them. They do have a free trial, or like it's not a free trial actually, I think it's just like a free version where you can do like a certain amount get a certain amount of emails, like 250, 500, something like that, 1,000 maybe, who knows. But anyway, wrapping it up here, because I've taken too much time as it is. I'm rambling now. But first off, you want to build a targeted list, build a killer template, you know, put time into it, because you're going to get more out of it if you put some time into it. You invest that little time up front, you're going to reap more rewards at the end of the day. And you want to split test it. Have split testing basically where you send half your emails with this one template, half your emails with another template, and basically just change like one variable. Like in one, you can say, hey, Dr. Jones versus like, hey Alex, right? So the doctor's name is Alex Jones, and you split testing to see if Dr. Jones works better, if it's a more formal title, or if a more like, you know, laid back, like, hey Alex, works better. So that's just one random idea that came to my mind. There's tons of more you can do with that. Then to go with either a personalized or mass outreach campaign. Test whichever works for you. Figure out, you know, use common sense. If you have a list of like 500 leads, I would go more personalized, versus if you have a list of 500,000, go mass outreach. And use proper tools to save you time, and hire VAs if you have the budget and need. Like if you're having a personalized list and you need to get businesses, you know, names, decision maker emails that you may not be able to scrape as easily, things like that. You know, where they're ranking on Google. Sometimes you can say, hey, I saw you ranking on like the 5th spot on page 5. Do you want to rank higher? So you could get a VA to do that all for you. And again, it's not crazy expensive if you want to hire a VA. I usually would pay them around $3-4 bucks an hour, $3 to $5 an hour for that like grunt data entry type work. That doesn't have, you don't need any skill for that at all. So I would think that's a solid price. And you can find them on like Upwork.com, find them on onlinejobs.ph and things like that. Upwork is solid. And then don't give up after a short period of time, guys. Like this is not something that you're gonna use and get a client in one day. I mean, it's definitely possible. The possibility is there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the chances are low. So the chances that you get someone in like your first month of cold email, though, that is pretty high if you put in a lot of time, effort, and you send out a bunch of emails and you follow up. Following up is key. Following up is definitely key to people that reply to you. Don't just bombard people who don't reply, because that's just spam at that point, and not recommended to do. Probably illegal in some countries. Make sure you know your canned spam laws. And yeah, last note actually I wanted to say real quickly, for mass outreach, I wouldn't recommend Pitchbox. That's kind of more, like I said, personalized. For mass outreach, look up, maybe MailChimp could work. I believe Email Octopus could work. So check those out. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy it, leave a like on the video. I appreciate it, guys. Leave a comment too. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know if you have any clarifications you want to ask. And you can also ask in the Facebook group. And on top of that, if you're not in the Facebook group, join it now, because I'm going to be putting in a bunch of killer tips on there that don't necessarily warrant a video, like those kind of pro tips. I'm constantly putting them in every single week. So definitely join up and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. I appreciate it, and get some clients.